when you feel that newness of self coming, that new self like emerging, you're like, ah, finally, this is me. Finally, this is my real self. And it's like, yeah, but there's still gonna be another one after.
I was gonna say, and you're already attaching to it too much. Like,
there's still gonna be another one after that because you're gonna die again, and this is gonna happen over and over again. And it's like literally, we have to align with nature, align with the world, align with the way that, like I said, nature flows. Fall, winter, spring, summer is a constant. Like the seasons are never gonna stop.
And for women, we go through them every single month. You know, with our cycles being our winter, and then we literally go through those four phases every single month.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of TTALK, where it is you plus me plus a lovely cup of tea. And today we are back with another episode. If you guys are new here, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Nala Asa Shakur, also known as Tyler A. Norman. I am the author of the book Love Starts Here, right here. If you haven't read or checked out my book, I'll link that down below and you can read all about it. It's pretty life-changing if I don't say so myself. But I'm also the owner and the CEO of the All Natural, which is your one-stop holistic health shop where we provide all your needs for a natural lifestyle, okay? If you haven't been to TTALK, this is a sacred and a safe place where we have our tea and we talk the real tea, which is how to heal thyself.
Yes.
Boom. Okay. Yes. So, and today we have a special guest.
Hello. I am so honored to be here. I don't watch my twin do this for years, and just the come up and the organization, and it's so professional. I'm over here like, let me sip my tea, you know. But to introduce myself, I am Anjali for Tosh. I do tarot, Reiki, womb healing, candle pouring, just kind of a whole shebang of healing. So I'm so grateful to be here. My business is Embryo Roots. You can check me out, embryoroots.co on Instagram.
Okay, promote yourself. Boom. So, thank you guys for coming to TTALK if this is your first episode. And if it is not, if you are a returner, thank you so much for continuing to watch and listen, however you're doing so, YouTube, Instagram, any of the podcast platforms. I'm just so grateful to have you guys here listening and just have you in this space. And subscribe, follow if you haven't already. Share these TTALKs so we can spread the love and the healing, okay? So with that being said, I'm going to get into the meditation, the prayer, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with this episode. Okay? Yeah. So basically, what I do for like meditation is just like, I just lead kind of like a 3 deep breaths and then get straight into prayer.
Perfect.
So you can also pray after me if you'd like to. Okay, cool. All right, everybody close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Loosen up, allow yourself to get comfortable, to be open to the message that we're about to receive. Breathe in through the nose. Hold it. Breathe out through the mouth. In through the nose. Hold. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Hold. Out through the mouth. Thank you, Mother, Father, Creator. Thank you for this day, this space, this time. Thank you for my guests, the beautiful Anjali, Tasha, and Embryo Roots. We are blessed to be here, and just we ask that and we set the intention that our conversation, that our dialect, that our back and forth, and both of our perspectives are able to really relate to each other, be able to also contradict each other while offering just a wider range of perspective and expansion for all those watchers and listeners. We pray for a healing message, something that guides us in whatever we are dealing with in the current situation, that gives us more love toward ourselves, towards others, towards life, and that allows us to be in more alignment with self.
Ashe. I thought I needed to add something, but I think you.
Okay, Ashe. So today we are drinking on some lemon ginger tea, guys, with
delicious.
some honey. It's really good for the fall time. It's just like the perfect spice, good for your gut, your immune system, and all of that.
Super soothing. Super soothing.
Beautiful. Okay, so we're just gonna get into things. And typically, you know, with Tea Talk, I don't plan.
Yeah.
But I'm going to talk about it all.
Yeah.
I just kind of like, if there's something on my head on the way here,
Mm-hmm.
when I get here,
Mm-hmm.
whatever I was talking about before I started the episode, that's just what I go off of. Or just like pick some cards, you know.
You know, when you were praying, we was meditating, I was kind of thinking about, you know, all these retrogrades. It was like 5 different planets that have been in retrograde. They're like all going direct at the same time. And then not to mention that today is a new moon eclipse in Scorpio.
Ooh.
So like the ultimate transformation is taking place, you know, and I feel like we've kind of been in this space of like, oh, we know we're transforming, you know, but like we had to go back, like all these going into retrograde, it's like we had to go back into almost like the roots of where our fruits have come from, you know, to really like see what needed to be dismantled and to see what needed to be fed and curated to grow some more. And I feel like today, with it being the eclipse, especially in Scorpio and a new moon, it's like Spirit is kind of offering us this space to be like, what do you want to create? What choice do you want to make? Like if you have went back and took your inventory and realized that you're not where you planned on being or where you want to be, the good thing is that we have a choice to create something new. And so we're all kind of in this space of creating something new, but also going into hermit mode with it being the fall, the winter. Right. And it's like the perfect time to plant seeds and cultivate.
Right. So I feel like I kind of want to touch on what you were saying, like how, you know, it's Scorpio season. It's a new moon in Scorpio, right? Okay, so I feel that too. How like just this era of time is about transformation and just like allowing ourselves to transform, and also knowing. I wrote something yesterday, and it was an affirmation, and it was an affirmation. It said, I am just always flowing with the constant life and death cycle that we all go through, and just like being able to peacefully and, you know, just almost effortlessly flow through like the life and death cycle. So like what you were saying, we had to go into our roots, and we have grounding right here. I pulled grounding. We had to like allow our feet to touch the ground, to go into the ground, be pulled into the ground, be pulled into our shadow, our darkness, and everything, in order to like flow with that life and death cycle. Like you have to go through the death before you are reborn.
No, truly.
And then it's like, I like this quote where it says, everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to die.
Nobody want to die. No, for real.
And it's like, we have to. Going into the ground, going into your roots, going into the shadows, the darkness, the cold, all of the leaves falling, losing shit is a part of the transformation.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's constant.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing where it's like, you know, they think we have this idea that, you know, if we just heal this one thing, or if we just do this one thing, if we just wake up every day and meditate, and it's like, no, life is still here. Like you said, it's learning to ground yourself, grounding in the ebbs and flows, because the ebbs and the flows, they ain't never gonna stop flowing. And this idea that you could think your way out of being a whole person, you could think your way out of just, oh, if I just positive think, then my life will be positive. But like, that's not what we come to earth for. We come to earth to experience the whole thing. And if you don't have respect for the death and the darkness, you ain't never gonna be able to stand fully in your life. Like,
these are facts. These are facts. It reminds me of like a poem that I wrote, actually. The poem was called Ground Me. And one of the parts on the poem was like, I don't remember what the words were verbatim, but it was like basically talking about, I was painting a picture as if I was a bird just flying through the sky. And I was talking about I was all up in the clouds, and at first it was great. I had this super dope perspective. I was seeing above everything. Like, it just felt good. You know, I felt lifted. I felt high. But then I start getting tired, and I start running into dark clouds, rain clouds. Like, oh shit, hold on, wait a minute. Like, I want to go back to the ground because it's not. I'm not supposed to be up here for this long. My wings are getting tired.
Yeah.
I need to rest. I need to come back to self. I need to ground. I need my feet to touch the ground in order for me to be able to build up the endurance, build up the resilience, build up and learn and gather the tools and the twigs on the ground to be able to take flight again when the time is right.
Exactly. And then you got celestial alignment. When the time is right. That's what I was going to say. It's like we have to recognize that there's a time to be in the clouds. It's a time to be on the ground. It's a time to be meditating and be super spiritual. And it's a time to be grounded and you got to pay your bills and life is real. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's about finding the balance in all of that and not neglecting any piece of ourselves, because that's what your whole book is about. Like, literally, it's like physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. If you're not feeding yourself in each of these energy bodies, you're gonna come up short somewhere. Like,
these are facts. These are facts.
Yeah.
It's really about the wholeness of everything. But like, I just want to touch on go back to like the life and death cycle again, and just realizing that like it really doesn't stop. Like, because I think that even myself, once I like where I'm at now, where I feel like I'm like really like what you said when we were together like last time, you're in the birth canal. Like, you've gone through that death process. We've been grounded. We've been in the roots. We've gone all the way down into the darkness, and now it's time to come back around and be born again. And it's like, now that when you feel that newness of self coming, that new self like emerging, you're like, finally, this is me. Finally, this is my real self. And it's like, yeah, but there's still going to be another one after that.
I was going to say, and you're already attaching to it too much. Like,
there's still going to be another one after that, because you're going to die again. And this is going to happen over and over again. And it's like, literally, we have to align with nature, align with the world, align with the way that, like I said, nature flows. Fall, winter, spring, summer is a constant, like, the seasons are never going to stop.
And for women, we go through them every single month. You know, with our cycles being our winter, and then we literally go through those four phases every single month. Whereas like with men, they just live on the 24-hour pattern routine. And so sometimes we be trying to keep up with these men, not understanding that we literally operate fundamentally different.
True.
Like,
this is true.
But what you were saying about the birth canal, we got patience right here, and it's in reverse. And I feel like that is just saying, and then it's the Taurus, that stubborn energy, where it's like you said, it's like, oh, we're emerging, I'm here, and it's like, but it still takes time. A newborn doesn't pop out the womb and be ready to freaking be a president. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still a process of growing, and once again, it goes back to like always thinking that, well, this is the key. Oh, well, I'm emerging. Well, finally, I'm here. And like you said, then it's just another cycle, and you have to enjoy it. That's what I've been realizing, because you can fall into like just that hopeless energy of like, okay, well, if this is a never-ending cycle, like, can I get the fuck up out of here? Like,
right?
You know? But
because that can sound like, well, damn, like,
I ain't never gonna.
This shit don't end. Like.
I think the point is to like literally learn how to enjoy it all, not just the stuff that feels good, not just the sweetness, but you know,
the wholeness.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. You know, and I think death really taught me that, because I feel like death shows you like you lose somebody and you don't think about none of the arguments or like the bad stuff, the shadow aspect of a relationship. You just think of it like, no, that was our whole.
Yeah, that was everything.
That was us. That was, and it was all needed. Like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great perspective.
True.
But I feel that too. And I actually, there's a new song by Smino and J. Cole, which is fire, by the way. Y'all should listen to it. It's called 90 Proof.
Ooh.
J. Cole's part is just everything that I'm feeling right now. Just everything that I feel like I'm transitioning into.
He got a way of doing that, don't he?
Yeah.
Every time.
Right? But like, I don't remember what the lyrics are verbatim, but he was basically saying like, some people want to come up quick, but I'd rather go through all the stages and erupt slowly. And I was like, wow, I have really learned that because I felt like I was that person who I wanted overnight success.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to write my book and that motherfucker just blow up and I'm rich as fuck. Like, just overnight.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, because when you understand the cycles of life, you understand that that shit's gonna go as quickly as it came.
Yeah.
Like, you want to go through and you want to build on things. You want to go through all of those many death and rebirth, so you can be able to eventually expand into something so big that it becomes like everlasting.
Yeah, build something that can stand the test of time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
because when we try to quickly go through these, like, oh, I want to go up, well, you're going to die just as quick. Like, that's part of the cycle. That's the life and death cycle. The longer you build up that life form, the longer it stays alive.
Literally.
And we have to have patience. Like, just like you were mentioning before, just having patience in our creations, having patience in our transformation.
Yeah. And I feel like that's also a danger of like this entrepreneur society where it's like we entrepreneurs and we respect that, but any entrepreneur you really sit down and talk to, they gonna tell you like, nah, I was broke for 5 years before I ever made a sale. Or
okay.
Like, you know, but because of YouTube and because of social media, we were talking about this the other night when you came over, like, we automatically think like we supposed to have that Benz. Like, we're 24 years old.
Yep.
That person who has that Benz has been doing something for a substantial amount of time in order to receive it. You know, and the people who just receive it, it doesn't mean anything to them. So speaking of Cole, the last concert I went to of his, he was talking about how, like, you want $1 million, right? So what if somebody just gave you that tomorrow? You wouldn't know what to do with it. You wouldn't know how to sustain it. You would blow it within a couple years and then be like, because you have to grow with it. Like, me and Will was talking about that the other day. Like, if we can't handle the financial stamina that we're facing, we're never going to be able to have millions of dollars in the bank and be able to handle it correctly.
Right.
Like,
and be able to maintain all that.
Every level. Yeah, you have to go through every level. You can't skip levels and you don't want to. Even in spirituality, I've been learning, like, Sita's really been teaching me a lot about, like, initiation and, like, you know, because of the internet, it's like, oh, I'm a Reiki master.
Right.
And it's like, yo, like, people done went through years and generations to pass certain stuff down that you don't just get. Like, there's a process you have to go through.
Yeah, I feel that. Because we were talking about that the other day. And there was a post that I reposted on my Instagram, and it was like social media, like you said, like you mentioned, social media has us looking at 30-something-year-olds, 40-something-year-olds who have a house and kids, and they're, you know, stable in their careers, and they finally, like, reach, like, you know, even ground. And we think, like, us 24 years old, we like, damn, why can't I get a house? Like,
no, literally.
Well, motherfucker, can you maintain an apartment?
No,
like,
literally.
Can you clean your own room at home with your parents?
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Can you keep up with the dishes? Can you keep up with your work and home life now with the little that you do have?
Facts.
If the answer is no, then why do you think you're about to expand?
Yeah.
Because once again, you have to go through that life and that death cycle.
Facts.
Because once you learn how to maintain something while it's living, then it dies.
Literally.
Once you get used to something and you get comfortable, like, oh, I know how to do this now, like that. Next stage.
I was about to say that, twin.
Next stage.
Yep. Once you master something, spirit, like, all right, bet, that's what I needed you to have under your belt for this next task. Like,
and you quickly move to the next, and you have to readjust and re-understand this new life form all over again. Like, I feel like that is just the message of this T-Talk, is that transformation is like a constant. Transformation is always happening. We're always transforming.
Literally. So I actually have a Chinese fortune in my car that I've kept since I was in Vegas. So it's been about 2 years now. And it says, life is like playing the violin in public and learning to play as life goes on. Like, you ain't never played before and you get out there and start playing the violin. And life is you learning how to play that shit in front of everybody. Like, as it goes on. And I remember why I kept it, because I'm like, no, truly though. Like, and the idea that 50-year-old or that 40-year-old that we're fantasizing about looking at, like they ain't got problems too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, Everybody is dealing with something. If you're a human being, you are resolving some type of karma. You dealing with something. Like, we all here for a reason. Mm-hmm. And no amount of material or spiritual wisdom and knowledge is going to alleviate the fact that you have to be here and play out the role that you committed to spirit, that you was going to play the world. It's deeper than us. It's what's our bigger purpose. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not just about our individual happiness. It's what are we giving to the world around us? What are we giving to the community? What are we giving to our families? What are we passing down? What impact are we leaving? Because, like you said, we gonna die. Like, life is short. Like, everything has its cycle. So after our cycle is complete, you gotta think bigger. Like, what work was I doing it for me? Was I being self-serving, or was I serving self? That's something I've been asking myself a lot. Am I being self-serving, or am I serving self? Because it's a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Keep that in the back of my head. Yeah, I think just one more thing I wanted to kind of add on to what you said is, like, the people who do have all of those things right now and they had that quick overnight and they skipped the transformation of self along the way, those realities are not what they seem. Those, you know, what they are portraying is not really what's the reality. Because when you skip all the steps and you skip the transformation and you go straight there and you have that quick, you know, like I said, not only do you lose it just as quickly, but you skipped everything along the way. Like, you skipped details that are necessary. And it's like, when you skip details, you have problems. When you skip putting parts in the engine and try to get it done really quickly, the engine is not operating efficiently.
Ooh, yes.
It is not operating at its highest potential. So I just wanted to add that in there. But
yeah, you got it fast, but can you keep it and can you maintain it? For real.
All right. Well, that was a beautiful, wonderful tea talk.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks so much for being a guest. Guys, if you are interested in being a guest on any upcoming Tea Talks, we are accepting just like ideas for guests, and accepting if you would like to. We have a guest form down below that you can fill out and turn it in, and, you know, possibly be featured on Tea Talk, and we can have a conversation like we did. And just learning how to share your perspective with somebody, learning how to share your truth, and learning that two truths can exist in one space, even if they are opposite. So
beautiful, beautiful.
Yes, we will link everything down below. I will link Tasha's Instagram, all her business stuff down below. You can book a session, book any of your services, and all of that. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this Tea Talk up. I wish you guys an abundant and a blessed day. And yeah,
thanks, love,
peace.